Anthony Bacarella. Here at Hellbent Barbell, we're going to talk about the bench press. Now, I'm not a pro. I'm not a knower, as I like to call him. That's somebody who knows everything. What I am going to tell you is what people here at Hellbent Barbell and guys that used to lift at Southside and Hardcore in Connecticut, what they taught me, all right, and the important things about bench pressing. So one would be the setup. The setup's really important. Why is the setup important? Well, this is the starting point of the bench press, and if you're going to start correctly, they need to be set up correctly. So the first thing that I like to do is get my feet a little bit wider and shoulder width apart. This is for me. Now keep in mind, when you're doing a bench press, it's going to be what's comfortable for you. Everybody's built differently, mechanics are different, so it's going to be a little bit different for each lifter. So my feet are a little bit shoulder width apart. I'm going to lean back on the bench. What you want to make sure is that your shoulders are tight against the bench. So for me to do this right now, I'm going to grab the sides of the bench. I'm going to squeeze my lats into position and my traps into position. Excuse the bread dough at the bottom of my shirt. So I'm going to squeeze my traps into position. Now they're into position. Once I do this, I like to try to get a little bit of an arch. So right now my traps are tight, they're into position. I'm struggling to talk because I'm trying to maintain tightness. So I'm going to bring my feet up a little bit, try to maintain an arch, get my feet back to shoulder width apart. Again, excuse the bread dough. I like to line my fingers up so that my index finger is on the power rings. Why I do that is because I'm a little bit wider of a bench presser. When I do this, I'm going to unrack. All right, so now that I'm unracked, my traps are tight, I have a teeny bit of an arch going on, my fingers are a little bit wider, and what I'm going to do is make sure on the way down I'm very, very tight. How I do that is by keeping the elbows and bringing them in. Now that my elbows are in, my lats are tight, I have a springboard, I'm going to push through my heels, pop the bench up. So I'm going to do it one more time. That time I had a little bit better of a line. You don't necessarily want to push straight up when you're accelerating on that bar. You want to move it back a little bit. So that line isn't going to look like a straight vertical line. It's going to come down straight, and it's going to go up more like a crescent. All right? Another big important technique that they taught me is on the way up, you're not just pushing out. Okay, so yeah, we're going to bring it down and we're going to push up. A lot of people try to push up with their chest only. Once you reach that sticking point right off the chest, you got to try to flare those elbows out and get your forearms vertical underneath the bar. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to come down. Once I get that pop, what I want to do is flare the elbows out a little bit. Again, it's going to be when you flare those elbows out, your forearm is nice and vertical. You get that weight underneath your triceps. That's the strongest part of the lift. That's bench pressing from Hellbent Barbell. Fire up.